Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to be taking a look in the Soulforge and telling you what I think is worth crafting and what you should avoid in there, as well as telling you what I think is the best mythic overall in the Soulforge this week. As well as that, we'll be taking a look at the weekly event Glory Troop and giving that a rating too. Anyway, it's had a really bad couple of days. I tried to sue the airport for misplacing my luggage. I lost my case. Hey, yeah, I know how bad they are. Right, anyway, let's take a look at this weekly Glory Troop. This is Anari. Morgrim Woods Epic. Converts green gems to spirit gems. Now, spirit gems are the new type of heroic gem which has come in the game today. And these, when matched or destroyed, will drain 2 mana from enemies. So, the thing with this is, you can't really give it an accurate rating until we've actually tried it a bit. So, it's kind of on the fence at the moment. The fox is sitting on the fence in the woods, looking slightly suspicious. The traits are okay though. Start battles with full mana. Can be quite handy in certain situations, because if you get a match on that straight away and you're against empowered troops, for example, who start with full mana as well, you can actually take some of that away, which stops them basically going first in the battle. Very handy indeed. Or at least casting straight away anyway. So yeah, could be good. As ever, if you have the glory, take this all the way up to mythic level if you can. You get a bunch more gold, some more glory keys and more besides. And this gives you another troop to get to level 20 straight away, which in the long run is going to help your power level kingdoms. Right, whilst you're in here, you might as well grab some spoils of war. If you've got excess glory again, you can get up to 10 of these. Always worth doing. More event keys, more gold, and more treasure maps if you desire such things. Anyway, let's jump into the Soulforge itself then. Take a look at the weapons first, see what we think of those. First up is the Wolfhammer. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Morgrim Woods allies, then creates a mix of 6 blue and green gems for each Morgrim Woods ally. Uses red and brown, creates blue and green, so you must have Morgrim Woods allies, at least a couple of them use blue and green to make the most of that, otherwise there's not a lot of point to it really, but if you fulfill those requirements then absolutely can be very useful indeed. Dagger of Morgrim. Removes all green gems with no effect, so you take them away. This doesn't use green itself, and good advice is to not have your team use green at all, because you're always removing the green gems there, which primarily is the colour that Morgrim Woods allies or enemies tend to like. So you take away the colour they use the most. If the enemy is from Morgrim Woods, or if the battle is in Morgrim Woods, deal double damage. So a anti-Morgrim Woods weapon, basically. Lupin's Edge. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Wargear allies, then create a mix of 6 green and red gems for each Wargear ally. So very similar to the weapon just a couple of weapons ago, but this uses yellow and blue and creates red and green. So make sure your Wargear allies, at least a couple of them, use green and red to benefit from that. Devil's Bane. Deals magic-based damage to an enemy, and there's a 4% chance to kill them boosted by diamond enemies. So very, very low chance to kill, even when the boost ratio is applied, even against a full diamond enemies team. That's not much cop. Nah, avoid that. It's like it's not much damage, and the chance to kill is super low. Not very good at all. Moonblade. Deal damage to an enemy, then convert 3 gems of one of their mana colours to lycanthropy gems. So damage is low, and then the chances of that going in your favour are very up in the air. It's like sometimes it'll work for you, sometimes it'll work completely against you, and you'll give the enemy a match instead. So yeah, I don't like those sort of weapons myself. Not a fan. Oh, what else we got? Hope's Crescent. Eliminate all armour from an enemy. That's more like it. Much better. Very effective on high level enemies that have got a lot of armour and a lot of attack, things like that. Then deal a magic based damage, and if the enemy's life is greater, deal a triple damage. So very good. Ability to strip all the armour away in one go and potential triple damage at the same time to that life. So very, very good indeed. Doomed Glaive. this is the last weapon, this is probably the best weapon here today, if not definitely the best weapon here today. Deals damage to all enemies, +1 per tempering level, then convert brown gems to doom skulls. If the enemy has a doom, create 5 more. Gain 3 mana for each green enemy. Uses green itself. So damage to all, boosted by the tempering level, convert brown to doom skulls is really good. The cool thing about converting the gems to doom skulls is the fact you can see what's going to happen before you cast it. It's not one of these ones where you create skulls or create mana colors and you hope that it's going to work. No matter how many you create, sometimes it can go wrong, and it will often go wrong. When you do this, you can see clearly before you cast it whether you're going to get a 3 match, whether you're going to get a 4 match, which is what you're normally looking for, and then take it from there. So really, really good indeed. And the upgrades are good as well, like tangling. That's going to entangle the first enemy when you cast it at the same time, and leaf is a leaf storm, so you're going to get green gems falling more often than the other colors at the same time. So very, very good indeed. And the others are here all the time, so they've been gone over in another Gems of War video. Vampiric Mark, what is this one? Deals damage to an enemy, and if they have Hunter's Mark, steal 6 life from them. So a little bit situational, but yeah, collectible. But yeah, absolutely best weapon here is Doomed Glaive. Recommend you go get that weapon. Absolutely superb. Oops, wrong button. Back in. Troops. Nobody special in these ones. I had a quick sneak peek earlier. Let's take a look at the mythics first. Flaming Oni. Summons 3 random goblins. That's already good. Then explode magic-based green gems and gain an extra turn. So it's going to be a mana generator, a goblin generator, which is going to be annoying to a lot of teams. This is often the troop you have to target quite often in goblin teams, like quite quickly, because if you clear the top goblins and then this thing's at the bottom and it generates more, you're just fighting a never-ending battle of spawning goblins, which is horrendous. But also, this is very good as well, because it converts 2 red gems to burning gems when my turn begins. This is a good way of setting fire to the opposition for bonuses regarding burning enemies, and if you get extra skull damage and things like that. So, really good troop. I do like Flaming Only a lot. That one's there all the time. And Hiking Irongut is here. Deals damage to an enemy with a chance to devour them equal to his attack and gains an extra turn. So, still the King of the Delves is absolutely superb. Other troops have come along to make the Delves more viable with other troops now, but this guy is still absolutely superb in so many Delves. He uses 3 different colours. All you got to do is get 1 Devour, and your attack is going to be above 100, which means you have a guaranteed Devour every single time, providing they're not immune to Devour. And that makes him absolutely superb for Delves. The traits are okay. Nothing fantastic. It is all about that awesome spell. And the fact he can just munch through people in Delves and just like chuck them in his mixing pot. That's what he does with them. He chucks them in there, mixes them up, and scoffs them away. In the pot they go. Infernus. It used to be absolutely a beast at this game a few years ago. Was the best troop for a while, along with Uberstedt. But things have increased. The power creep has come along, and he's not quite as effective as he used to be. Still got that awesome 3rd trait, a nice easy way of burning all enemies simply by getting a 4 match for the same reasons as the troop mentioned a little while ago. But the spell deals splash damage to 2 random enemies and explodes 5 random gems. So it can do significant damage as well as generate some mana. Still good, just not the absolute powerhouse he was a while ago. Stonehammer. Yeah, he's sort of love-hate him in a way. Good in certain teams, just not in that many teams. That reduced damage from skulls by 80% is really high, so really good in against skull-based teams. But the spell is so just up and down on its effectiveness. Stun and burn all enemies can be useful, of course, in certain teams. Then create a mix of 22 red and brown gems and gain a bunch of life. The trouble with the spell is this was the 2nd mythic I think I ever got in the game. I think my first one was War, and then I got Stonehammer. And this is a long time ago, so I was like quite excited to have my second mythic and I try to use it all the time. But the amount of times that create a mix of red and brown gems does not get a 4 match is unreal. But things have changed. Like there are certain troops which create red and brown storms and things like that now. So it may be okay now in certain teams, but still not a huge fan of the spell overall or him. Sorry, mate. Is that it? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was it. So let's quickly go over the legendaries. Don't recommend crafting legendaries unless there's somebody absolutely outrageously good. And none of these are outrageously good. They're just okay. Viper deals damage to an enemy, poisons and charms. Yeah. Magnus deals damage to all enemies, which is good. Boosted by diseased and poisoned enemies, then disease and poison all enemies. Dark Monolith looks scary, but not really. Deal damage to the 2 weakest enemies. Deal double damage if I am damaged. That's what he does. Scion, again, used to be effective, but not so much anymore because there's so many ways of getting mana back quickly now. Deals a low amount of true scatter damage, really, for a legendary. Then drains 7 mana from all enemies. And that is your lot. But who gets my coveted mythic of the week? Well, I do like Flaming Oni a lot. Can't give it to Infernus anymore. Sorry, mate. Definitely not Stonehammer. That only leaves High King Irongut. Absolutely superb still for delves. Munch your way through those high level delves when you can use the mana colours. And you will find him absolutely a joy to use. So if you don't have High King Irongut and still got plenty of delves to use, then absolutely worth crafting. I recommend you go out and do it right now if that is the case. And just devour those delves. Well, there it is. There's a Soulforge video. I'll be back later on with my world event team and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. Bash that like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.